So it's been a minute. There's a lot going on, isn't there, over these few months this summer and then onwards. More and more and more light hitting the earth, more and more different quality light hitting the earth, bringing different experiences to us all, throwing us into our darkness. I explained this to somebody the other day, like, this has been said a million times, but wear a glass of water. Imagine your body, a glass of water, and everything that you haven't dealt with is this lovely silty sediment at the bottom of the glass, and we pretend it's like it's not there. We swim about in this lovely clear water at the top, surfacing, I like to call it, and really not dealing with anything because it doesn't cause an issue for the most part. It's only when there's a poke into it and a little bit of the silt comes up that you really have to look at it. But what's happening right now, because of celestial alignments, things that we've just never seen before, and they're pushing us into certain ways of being. The sun is giving out different quality of light, and that's pushing us as well. It's pouring fresh water into that glass, and all that silt, all that sediment is stirring up, and suddenly we've got it in our faces, which seems very rude, but actually is very good, because it's for us to chuck out the glass so that we're all clear, should you go with the flow, that is. So during this period and before, I'm coming to some pretty fabulous realizations for myself, and I hope and pray that you all are too. My question today is, do you think it's possible to grow into ADHD? Because I don't think it's possible. I'm experiencing it, literally experiencing it, boots on the ground. Suddenly my aberration that has been a problem my whole life sent me up into some scrapes, life-threatening situations. Turns out, with this new light hitting the planet, with this new improved, oh my god, time is going so fast. With that, my ADHD brain is the perfect tool. Who knew? Amazeballs. Well, what do you think about that? Is your ADHD brain the perfect tool? Have you worked out why yet? It's said that ADHD brains can, not by clinical psychologists or anyone like that, but outside the rigid scientific paradigm, it's said that ADHD brained people are existing on more consciously, albeit haphazardly, on more planes of existence. And I mean, how many times are we being told that we're multi-dimensional creatures? We just don't know, what that means for us yet. I think I've said before that ADHD brain is the one of the cutting edge new kids on the block learn how to use this shit phenomenon. And I think we're going through a period of time where we're learning what that is. Well, multi-dimensional living can feel very, very chaotic when we're in the chaotic phase, but I'm getting it. I am getting it, and the more I get it, the more stable I am. And I see people losing their shit all the time, from grand losing shitness to minuscule losing shitness, depending on what the trigger point is and how much silt has been chucked up from the bottom of the glass, and how much silt there was indeed left in the bottom of the glass. But ADHD is turning out to be a real superpower, that we can grab a bit of knowledge from here and a bit of knowledge from there, talking interdimensionally, And it's starting to make sense of a timeline that in the past never made sense. The way I operated and what I was being presented in this life just didn't tally. They just didn't go together. It just wasn't a thing. I just would sit there and think, what the fuck are they all on about? Like, really? Everybody looks like they know what they're doing, and I really haven't got a Scooby. Not one clue. So now it turns out I've got more of a clue, and I want to share that. I'm writing it all down in a book, all my haphazard, crazy, I've just about survived life, and what it turns out now when we're in this crazy period of time. Is anybody else feeling this? Well, you know, I know people are feeling this because I'm talking about it to the people and the kids around me. And it's not just the older folk that are feeling it. Did you know it's Friday again? What? It was Friday literally 2 days ago in my timeline. And do you know what I did the other day? Somebody suggested it. Do you remember we used to do 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, or 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, and that used to be the exact moment of a second. Put your clock on with your timer and do your counting. Do it like you used to. I got to like 4 1000 and the counter was on 8 or 9, and I was like, what? That just never happened before. So the other thing that's being said and that we're going through, which is true, is that there's a 26,000 year cycle. It's called precession of the equinoxes, and it's hot in here, hang on, brilliant. And for 26,000 years we're going towards the center of our galaxy, and for 26,000 years we're going away from the center of our galaxy, and our binary star. And then when we're going away from it, consciousness is falling asleep. So we go into dark ages and barbarianism and, you know, everything that we've seen in the last 26,000 years, cataclysms and, you know, pretty crap stuff. But on the 26,000 years upswing, which is now what we're starting, what we're going, it's the end of Kali Yuga, according to my tantric timeline, starting for Mahavata Babaji and onwards to Paramahansa Yogananda, I can never say his name, bless him, but that the Yuga cycle for Kali is now over, and so we're on the wake up. And as we wake up, we see more, we be more, we grow, and I think we evolve, and we're evolving into ADHD. Isn't that great? Not a problem. Not a problem. A superpower, not a problem. A necessity. How wonderful. How very, very wonderful. So, tell me, is your ADHD brain serving you well right now? And if it's not, maybe you're not pointing in the right direction. Because if you're pointing your conscious brain towards it being a problem, then you're going to be given the option of medication and, you know, special schooling and, you know, things that point at you as if you're a bit disabled, a bit special. But actually, if you point your conscious brain towards actually where the needed next step, and you go intrepid traveler towards that, then then you're going to find out that you've got what it takes to get through this next bit. And believe me, it's only going to get stronger from now. We're being told that July is going to kick us in the butt. Then and it's not going to kick us in the butt and then subside, and then, you know, do something else and then subside. Everything that we're doing, every step that we're taking, every cosmic leap that's being orchestrated around us is moving us further and further and further into more light. So our bodies have to change, our mind structure has to change, our outlook has to change, everything has to change. The way that we do things has to change. Everything has to change. It has to morph and grow and morph and grow. And an ADHD brain does that perfectly. Perfectly, if you're pointing your consciousness in the right direction. You're not a problem. You're the cutting edge. You're not a problem. You are the cutting edge. That is the truth. It's my lived experience. I can't persuade you of that. And I can say this and you can believe it or not. But if you're struggling, if you're suffering and you don't like it, what have you got to lose? Point yourself in the other direction. Walk that way and see what happens for you. What was it Einstein said? If you're faced with a problem and you keep doing the same thing over and over again in order to solve that problem, that's the definition of stupidity. I think he said it far more eloquently, given that he's a super brain. I think he said that a problem cannot be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Well, that's pretty clear, isn't it? All of this fabulous stuff. Be brave. Have faith. Go for it. What have you got to lose? Are you attached to your label of crapness? You're crap. That's who you are. Deal with it. Some people will stay there, I suppose. Shame. But they don't have to. You don't have to. Come along for the ride. Learn what you need to learn to get to the point where you're the one leading the way. You're the one of the ones on the forefront who's showing everybody else how to do it. And does that mean everybody without an ADHD brain is going to be, you know, a little bit disabled when it comes to moving forward? Oh, how the tables turn. Yeah, that does mean that. But we do have the divine, and the divine is infinitely powerful and infinitely compassionate and infinitely loving, and all it wants for us is perfection and joy and the experience of an uplifted, full life. All the divine wants for us is zindagi, meaning the fullness of a life well lived. Ah, it's coming. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Are you? Ooh, how rude.